What's up, guys? I hope you're well. Today we're checking out scariest crashes in F1 history. Ooh, some of these may not be, survivable crashes. Let's get into it.
Lewis Hamilton slowing into the wall, and oh dear, Roman.
Now, these crashes are some of the craziest ones in F1 history. From Jos Verstappen's fiery incident to Zhou Guan Yu's horrifying crash, join us as we take a look at the darker side of Formula 1. Let's kick things off with Alonso, who in 2016 had a dramatic crash during the Australian Grand Prix. He collided against the wall, his vehicle flipping through the air before landing inverted at a startling speed of 200 miles per hour. Despite the severity of the crash, Alonso miraculously escaped severe injuries and managed to evacuate from his McLaren. However, this incident pales in comparison to the infamous 1994 Hockenheim race pit stop fire experienced by Jos Verstappen, father of Max Verstappen. Jos pulled into the pits after 15 laps.
I can see why they don't do pit stops anymore.
Instead, he faced an extremely dangerous situation. Fuel splashed out from the refueling hose and ignited his overheated car, leading to a serious fire that engulfed both Verstappen and his surroundings. Despite all this, refueling remained in Formula 1 for 16 more years, before finally being banned forever in 2010. Now, during the 1967 Monaco Grand Prix, Lorenzo Bandini was racing behind Denny Hulme from second place when he lost control of his car. The car overturned and its fuel tank ruptured, igniting an intense fire. Marshals found it increasingly challenging to rescue Bandini as the flames kept getting bigger. Although Bandini was eventually pulled out from the vehicle, he had suffered severe third-degree burns. He was promptly transported to a hospital, but unfortunately, he succumbed to his injuries 3 days later. Bandini was just 31 years old at the time of his death. At the 2010 Chinese Grand Prix, Toro Rosso's Sebastian Buemi experienced a frightening accident while traveling down the back straight at a staggering speed of 180 miles per hour. He lost control of his car. Luckily, Buemi managed to emerge from the accident unscathed, and no significant consequences ensued. But that's not what we can say for Mark Webber, because at the 2010 European Grand Prix, he was already having a disappointing race, having fallen from second place to 18th. Little did he know his circumstances were about to take a dramatic turn for the worse. On the 10th lap, Webber attempted an overtake at the circuit's fastest section. Unexpectedly, his front right tyre clipped the rear of Lotus driver Heikki Kovalainen's car. This collision sent his car airborne, causing it to land nose first at a staggering speed of 190 miles per hour, then ricocheting and crashing into the tyre barrier. Thankfully, Webber escaped injury, but his vehicle was utterly destroyed. The 1994 San Marino Grand Prix marked a turning point in Formula 1 due to a pair of devastating and unfortunately fatal crashes. Austrian driver Roland Ratzenberger, with only 3 F1 races under his belt, hit a wall during the qualifying round at a speed of 195.7 miles per hour, tragically leading to his death. However, as fate would have it, that wasn't even the only tragedy of that weekend. Ayrton Senna, one of the greatest drivers in the history of the sport, also met with a fatal crash the following day. There were even speculations that Senna was contemplating withdrawing from the Grand Prix as he was deeply shaken by Ratzenberger's accident. Unfortunately, Senna chose to participate, and on the 7th lap, lost control of his car and crashed into an unprotected concrete barrier at approximately 192 miles per hour. First responders tried resuscitating him, but he would unfortunately pass away due to his injuries. Now, these tragic incidents led to a significant shift in Formula 1, bringing a stronger focus on driver safety to prevent such dire occurrences in the future. Improved crash testing methods were implemented, the use of tyre barriers became mandatory, and barriers were reinforced with rubber belts. Additionally, wheel tethers were introduced to reduce the risk of wheels detaching during accidents. Another crash which was devastating and completely changed F1 was the Romain Grosjean crash in Bahrain in 2018. During the initial lap of the race, Romain Grosjean was involved in a horrifying accident, experiencing a maximum force of 67 Gs as his car collided with a metal barrier at a speed of 119 miles per hour. The collision was so severe that it split his car in half and triggered an explosion. Grosjean found himself trapped in the flaming cockpit for a harrowing 27 seconds before he was able to extricate himself. In retrospect, he attributed his survival largely to the halo a vital component of F1 safety measures.
Oh, well, he would have been
Despite rigorous
decapitated
safety
if it wasn't for the
precautions,
halo.
some accidents, unfortunately, remain inevitable. The catastrophic crash involving Niki Lauda at the 1976 German Grand Prix had a profound impact on Formula One, prompting significant safety changes. The Nürburgring circuit had patches of wet conditions due to poor weather and track coverage, and despite being the quickest driver on the track, Lauda voiced his concerns about the circuit's safety and urged the other drivers to cancel the race.
Yeah.
However, his plea fell on deaf ears and the race proceeded. Unfortunately, Lauda's fears materialized when he lost control of his Ferrari at the notoriously treacherous Bergwerk corner. His car veered off the track, smashed into a wall, and erupted in flames. The Austrian driver sustained serious burns to his head and hands and inhaled toxic fumes that inflicted damage to his lungs. Upon being rushed to the hospital, he slipped into a coma and even received his last rites. Miraculously, he survived the horrific incident and even won 2 championships after that.
Wow.
During the 2018 Azerbaijan Grand Prix, a collision occurred between Red Bull teammates Max Verstappen and Daniel Ricciardo while they were vying for position on the long straight. Both drivers appeared to make movements under braking. Verstappen was overly defensive and Ricciardo was excessively aggressive, leading to a double retirement from the race. Post-race, Ricciardo voiced his annoyance, saying that he was irked by Verstappen swerving into his path. His frustration was further fueled by the realization that the team wouldn't intervene in his favour. It was a rare sight to see Ricciardo so upset, but he later revealed that his clash in Baku played a significant role in his decision to leave the Milton Keynes-based team, as he felt Verstappen was endangering his career. Even Christian Horner, the team boss, suspected that Ricciardo was shying away from a confrontation with his teammate. Fast forward to the present day, and it's clear to see where each driver stands. Verstappen is a 2-time champion, and judging by Red Bull's current performance, he's on track to secure his 3rd title soon. On the other hand, Ricciardo did eventually return to Red Bull, but only as a reserve driver to his former teammate. Another terrifying crash was Zhou Guanyu's crash at the 2022 British Grand Prix. On the first lap of that race, Zhou collided with Russell, and the impact sent Zhou's car hurtling across the track, skidding upside down on its halo before it was catapulted over a concrete barrier and into a retaining wall. The severity of the crash was extreme, with Zhou's car sliding upside down for a substantial distance. Fortunately, Zhou emerged from the wreckage unscathed, crediting his survival to the car's halo, later confirming on Twitter that the halo had indeed saved his life. This device is just one example of the many innovations that have significantly advanced safety in Formula One, saving countless lives over the years. But unfortunately, the halo wasn't around for Jules Bianchi, a young, talented driver who was the first to be part of the Ferrari Driver Academy. His promising career came to a heartbreaking end when his car collided with a 6,500 kilo crane, which was in the process of clearing Adrian Sutil's car. Sutil's vehicle had spun out and crashed at the same spot just a lap earlier, and his car was still being cleared when Bianchi lost control on the same turn and slammed into the crane at a speed of 78.28 miles per hour. The crash sadly resulted in Bianchi's death. The tragic event led the FIA to implement several safety measures, including the 4-hour rule, which mandates that races taking place during daylight hours must commence no less than 4 hours before sundown. There were also changes made to track drainage and the protocols for emergency vehicles responding to crashes. Formula One has had its share of thrilling and heart-stopping moments, many of which have resulted from high-speed crashes. These moments, while harrowing, have played a pivotal role in driving the evolution of safety measures within the sport. With every accident, lessons are learned and safety standards are elevated. From the Halo system, which has saved numerous drivers from potential life-threatening situations, to track drainage improvement and enhanced procedures for emergency vehicles. The sport's response to incidents has been commendable. The stringent regulations now ensure races are meticulously timed to allow sufficient daylight for safety operations. The courage and resilience of drivers have reinforced the importance of these measures. Their experiences underscore the inherent risk of this high-speed sport and the paramount importance of constantly evolving safety standards. Despite the significant strides made in safety over the years, the journey is far from over. F1's commitment to learning from every incident and adapting its safety measures accordingly ensures the sport continues to push the boundaries of speed while prioritizing the well-being of its drivers. We hope you enjoyed the video.
Wow. There's some serious, like, oh my God. Like some of those I couldn't watch. Like I'm glad the narrator said this is fatal, and I'm like, nah, I'm not watching it. Like I can't watch that. Kind of upsetting to me. So, but yeah, I mean, I enjoyed that as much as you can enjoy watching something like that. But I knew I needed to watch this just to get a better respect for the sport and the drivers and just how ballsy and insane they are to be doing this week after week. But yeah, with that being said, I want to thank you all for watching. Stay safe and don't forget to wash your hands. Bye.